Doctor I almost said Doctor Strange. Doctor Stone is a strange anime for me because I have mixed feelings about it. Overall, it does a lot of things that I like and find interesting, but at the same time, it's weak in some areas that aren't deal breakers. Do you know how like most isekai animes requires like the MC to die or log into a video game and boom, they're sent away to a new world? Well, this time, a mysterious green light envelopes the entire world and turns everybody into stone. And after 3,000 and more years pass, our main characters are released into a world with pretty much no trace of civilization left. So it's sort of like them being transported to another world, but just, this world totally changes, but over the course of thousands of years. I like this sort of clean slate setup because it allows us to test various ideas and philosophies in like a brand new environment. We get a whole bunch of like what ifs. And I also get massive enjoyment from civilization buildings. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed Slime Isekai, even though the battles and conflicts were predictable. I just really like world building. So the two prevailing philosophies right now are progress versus keeping things the way they are, which is quite like modern day politics, a totally family friendly and non-controversial topic. One side wants to progress something, and the other side thinks things should be the way they are. And that's where Senku and Tsubasa comes in. Senku is one of our main characters. He's a cocky science genius that wants to bring civilization back to the modern age and beyond. But Tsukasa, the really buff dude, sees that as a bad thing and wants to keep the Earth in its untainted state with no corrupt adults. Now I know people have complained about how overpowered and unrealistic Tsukasa is, but let's think about it. What's more unrealistic? A teenager with superhuman strength that can like punch out lions and chop down trees in one blow, or a green petrification ray that freezes all of humanity? When I think about it, they might both be equally far-fetched, but that's okay, because the way the anime is going, it seems to pit science versus fantasy against each other. Senko dreams of going to space and saving everybody, and Tsukasa, he's idealistic and he wants to keep the world pure, whatever that means. But ultimately, Tsukasa being OP is not something I really worry about, and eventually it looks like we're gonna get two different nations in this world focused around Senku and Tsukasa's visions, and that is something I look forward to seeing. We gotta address the elephant in the room, and that's Taiju's screams. I used to get angry and annoyed at this stuff, like with Black Clover and all that, but now I'm just sad when I see this. Because I honestly feel bad for the characters, because it's not their fault. They were written and directed that way. Taiju seems like a nice and cool guy. Like I probably, if he was around, I would be his friend. It's just that his screams are unbearable. I guess, as I watch Dr. Stone more, I'll get used to it, so who knows, maybe that complaint will go away and it'll just be background noise. And on top of that, the female faces are a little bit strange. Like the proportions they're unconventional, but they're not bad. They're charmingly weird, if that makes any sense. We need to talk about the science. I mean, this is where the whole anime revolves around, right? So one thing that really stands out to me was in episode 6 with the whole pulley system he made to rescue Kohaku. So I haven't taken physics in a while, but I did a little bit of analysis of it, and it seems like the physics checks out. If you lift something on one end that has its weight evenly distributed throughout, it does have the total weight you need to lift. And the force multiplication of the pulley system depicted in the anime, that's accurate, assuming I didn't get my math wrong. So it's a nice attention to detail. This show does not use sci-fi jargon to confuse and impress you. It stays on the realm of current human knowledge. And as for weapons though, wait till he masters steel and aluminum alloys. Like he's gonna be making freaking machine guns and fighter jets. I think guns would come first though. They're a priority because they're way easier to make, and the concept of a firearm hasn't changed since its invention. All you need in a gun is like have an expanding gas, usually an explosion, that pushes a piece of metal down a barrel and out into your target. I finally understand why they have that little disclaimer at the end, because in some countries it is illegal to make explosives and guns, so don't break the law, kids, adults. I haven't read the manga yet, so I don't really know what's gonna happen, but if Senko gets those weapons of science, those guns, GG Tsukasa, no read. So Senku-san is a really promising anime. I'm glad it's getting 24 episodes so we can see it play out to its fullest potential before we have to wait even longer for more. Now, there are some problems, some stereotypical shonen tropes, but I think it does generally a good job at its job. But what do you think about Dr. Stone so far, and what other animes this season are you watching? Let me know in the comments, and as always my friends, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.